What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of More Money Monday. Make sure my dress doing what it's supposed to do, okay? I told y'all I was going to be back on later. We had a little early morning session today where I was giving y'all some life at 9 a.m. Yes, I can't wait for us to work together too. But welcome back into another episode of More Money Monday. Y'all know that we do this every Monday because when you win your Mondays, you win your weeks, and when you win your weeks, you win your months, and when you win your months, you win your life, okay? This is now our 26th, maybe, week in a row of doing More Money Mondays. I decided to commit to, just having a motivational session with my community every Monday back maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and here we are at More Money Monday session number 26. So it's really exciting, the fact that we've been doing it for this long, and I love that you guys really look forward to it now. So I want to talk to y'all today about a couple things. First, I want to talk about setbacks, okay? I really want to talk to you about setbacks because I deal with setbacks. We all deal with setbacks, and it can really feel like it's easy to go into a space of this is happening against me. Why is it that I deal with what I deal with and no one else seems to deal with it, right? If you've ever felt like things work out for other people and they don't work out for you, comment me in the chat. If sometimes it feels like you're the only one that something isn't working for, comment me in the chat, and I'm gonna first raise my hand and say me. Sometimes you just be sitting there like, God, can I get a break? Why is this working for everybody else and it's not working for me? Why, right? This is real emotion. You're like, why? Why does it seem like this happening for this person is not happening for me, right? This is real. This is real. And so you got to get that emotion out, right? You got to get that emotion out. But what I want to tell you is God is setting you up for a major comeback. That's all I can say. God is setting you up for a major comeback. You're going to take this minor setback. In the moment, it feels like a major setback. But when I really look at things, right, I used to always ask myself, why is it that certain people seem to get things easier than others? And God told me, every one of you has a journey that I've designed just for you. Some of you are going to go down this path that is smooth. Some of you are going to go down this path that has more rocks, that has more adjustments, that's more difficult. But that's because each of you have a different reward at the end. So what I want you to realize is when you go into that space, and it's okay to feel those emotions, it's okay to feel that frustration, it's okay to have those moments where you feel like, why isn't it working for me? What I want you to realize is, you know what? My path is harder because my reward is meant to be greater. Somebody comment greater in the chat. Somebody comment the word greater in the chat. My path is harder because my reward is meant to be greater. That's what you've got to realize. You cannot compare two different journeys because we ultimately don't know where one person or the other is heading. Do not make yourself feel bad or less than, because from what we see from the outside looking in, it appears that someone else is getting to their destination a lot faster than we are. Someone else has a smoother road getting to their destination than we do. If you look at it from the outside, it's going to look like that, but we don't know what's going on that person's path, and you also don't know what God has waiting for you on your path. So if you're always looking and wondering, well, why does it work for them and not for me? It's not supposed to. Because God has a result for them, but God also has a result for you. And you may need to go down the path that's a little bit more challenging because the blessings that He has in store for you are going to require thicker skin. They're going to require more resilience. They're going to require you to be tougher. For you to be able to hold the blessings that God has on the way, you're going to have to be a little bit stronger than somebody else. And so It can feel like you want to stop and you want to give up in the process. It can feel like you're being picked on. It can feel like, why can't it come easy to me the way that it comes to other people? But I want to tell you that things that are easy don't last. Things that are easy don't always last. I don't want you to look for the path that has the least resistance. Don't look for the easiest and the fastest way to get somewhere, because that might not be the blessing and the full destination that you're looking for. Sometimes God needs to take you down a road that is harder, that is slower, that's going to make you slow down, that's going to make you take your time. You're going to fall a little bit. You're not going to be able to get back up. You're going to go a little bit slower. You're going to have more of a challenge. You're going to have more difficulties, because he knows that the weight of the blessing that is coming needs to be handled by someone who has the strength and the will to be able to support it. I need you to recognize that it's all intentional. It's all intentional. It's all by design. Comparison has no place in life. And let's really think about what it means to compare ourselves to someone else, right? When we get into this space of comparison, you can only compare something that is similar to something else, right? When you go to the grocery store, you compare 2 bananas. Which one looks better? You compare 2 cucumbers, right? Which one looks better? You compare 2 packages of chips. Which one feels fuller? But you don't go and compare a package of chips to a banana, because they have nothing in common. They are not the same. So when you compare yourself to someone else, why are you comparing yourself to someone who is nothing like you, who has nothing that you have? You have nothing that they have. You don't even have the same assignment. You don't have the same destination. You don't have the same path. That's why comparison makes no sense. So when we get into that place and you feel the frustration, I understand it, but you cannot allow yourself to stay in that place of comparison, because you can only compare yourself to an exact identical of you, and there are none. God only created one of you. There's only one of you out here. You are the most unique creation, because there will never be another you. So when you're looking at everyone else around you, when you're looking at other people's journey, when you're looking at other people's success, you cannot compare yourself to them and make yourself feel smaller, because you are one thing and they are another. You are not the same. You are not the same. You are unique. You are one. You are the only person that you should be comparing yourself to. So every single day when you're getting up, when you're working on your business, when you're wanting to achieve success, I want you to compare yourself to the version that you were yesterday. Comment, I am my only competition. You are your only competition. You are the only person you should be comparing yourself to. You can be happy for other people. Recognize that they're on their path. Recognize that there's blessings happening for them. Does that mean that your blessings are late? No. Does that mean that you are somehow less worthy than them? No. Does that mean that somehow God has forgotten about you simply because they have more than you do at this moment? No. No. And so we hold ourselves back. I know so many of you guys, I get DMs all the time where you all feel like you're holding yourself back. You're afraid. You don't know what step to take because you think that you'll be judged if you fail. You're afraid that you won't achieve success. But you know where that fear of judgment comes from? It comes from who you're comparing yourself to. If we are not looking around us and comparing ourselves, or being afraid of what other people have achieved, we have no reason to think about judgment. When we are operating from a space of, I'm going to go ahead and work on my business, I'm going to go ahead and fight to make my dreams a reality, I'm going to go ahead and believe in myself 100% because I am my only competition, who is there to judge me? Who is there for me to feel fear of? Who is there for me to compare myself to? There isn't anyone there. I tell you guys this all the time, probably every single week. I tell you guys that you are already valid. We are all already valid. Your life, your experiences, everything that's brought you to this moment that you are right now is by design. You don't have to have someone else's cosign to let you know that you are the best product. You don't have to have someone else say and validate your existence and your idea and what you're doing for you to believe in it 100%. The validation comes when you validate yourself. The external recognition comes when you recognize yourself. There are so many people that have less talent than you, that have less ideas than you, that have less self-confidence than you, that have less experience than you. But because they believe in themselves 100%, because they are not looking out at comparison, because they're not holding themselves back for fear of judgment, because they've already decided that they are valid, because they put the work behind that faith, you see them go. You see the results. You see the success, right? God needs you to step up. You need you to step up. Your goals need you to step up and realize no one else is in position to come and save you. God already gave you everything you need to save yourself. God already gave you everything you need to build yourself up. If we didn't have what we needed inside of us, God would have birthed us with, backpacks on. We would have come on earth with a tech kit. We would have come with something else to help us achieve what we need. But everything is already in you. And I know y'all be salty. Listen, I know we get salty when we see someone, right? And this is no shade, but this is real. When we see someone who we know is not nearly as qualified as we are, when we see someone who we know is not nearly as passionate as we are, who is not nearly as talented as we are, who is not nearly as good at it as we are, we know we feel salty when we see them getting the things that we believe we should have. But you know what? You're going to have to swallow that salt. Because the only reason that they're having it and you maybe not in this season is because they decided to validate themselves and you're still afraid of judgment and fear. Someone decided to validate themselves and go after it 100%, regardless of what anybody thinks. And we might still be holding ourselves back because we don't want someone to judge us. But who can judge you? Who can judge you? Who? Nobody. When you co-sign yourself, that's when the additional validation comes. When you decide for yourself that you're worthy and you will have it and you deserve it and nobody's going to take that from you, that's when it starts to happen. I started my business in the corner of my mother's living room. I tell y'all this all the time. The corner with nothing. There was nobody to validate me at that time. I used to send DMs to people all the time saying, hey, can we go live? I only have 500 followers, but I really want to help women. I know a lot about funding. I'm sure I can add value to your audience. They used to leave me on red. They used to leave me on red a lot of times. All the way up until I had 30,000 followers, I still would get left on red. Did that stop me? Did that make me feel less valid? It hurt my feelings a little bit, but I still decided to validate myself. And now, who's in my DMs now? Who's in the DMs now? So I need you to recognize God has a plan for you. Just because it seems like things are working for other people and it's not working for you, God has to take you on a different path because you're meant for a different blessing. You're meant for a different assignment. You're meant for a different result. One thing about God, He does not forget. One thing about God, you think you just things are happening And it always comes back around, and God is like, I told you I was going to take care of it. Don't worry about nothing, sweetheart. They left you on red. Now you could leave them on red. No, I'm just playing. I don't do that to people. But God never forgets. You have to recognize whatever you're dealing with right now, an answer to that will come. A solution to the problem you're facing will come. You just have to keep going. You just have to keep validating yourself. You just have to keep realizing that if God gave you the idea, if you can't stop thinking about it, if you can't stop dreaming about it, if all you do is talk about it, and you really believe in that deep part of you that you can make it happen, you've got to know that it's something He is going to assist you in making happen. It is going to take place. As an entrepreneur, all that we have is our faith and our discipline. That's it. It's willpower. Even those of you who still have a job, if you are someone that wants to build a business, you've got to recognize that it's different when you're building, because the things that you're relying on to get you through every single day are your faith, and then immediately next to that is your discipline and your willpower. Comparison is nowhere in that bag of tools. You don't have time to compare yourself as an entrepreneur, because you have to show up and do what is necessary to make the money to provide for yourself, to provide for your team, to provide for your family. The time that you spend comparing yourself to somebody, that person is out there doing what they got to do because they've decided that they're worth it. When are you going to decide that you're worth it? I want you to decide that today. Somebody comment the word today. I want you to decide that today. Believe it or not, these are the types of conversations I have with myself every single morning. Every single morning, every single night. And you're never going to get to a point where it's perfect, where you automatically wake up, you have all the confidence, there's no self-doubt, you're just a great example of entrepreneurship. It's a daily battle, and that's why I say you don't have time to compare yourself to anyone else, because you have to make sure that you're better than the version of yourself that you were yesterday. If yesterday I had doubt and insecurities for 3 hours of the day, today I have to make sure I only have doubt and insecurities for 2 hours of the day. Tomorrow I have to make sure I only have doubt and insecurities for 1 hour of the day. And you keep making yourself get better. You're never going to not have that voice come and say and doubt, are you actually good enough? But what you are going to get better at is telling that voice to be quiet and get in line, because we got to go make this money. That's what you are going to get better at, is telling that voice, not now. I see you, but not today. Today, we're focused on getting this money. Today, I have goals to achieve. Today, God told me I need to answer my assignment, so I'm going to answer it. That's what you do become better at. It doesn't mean that the doubts don't come. It doesn't mean that the comparison won't try to creep up on you. But what you're doing is you're making yourself stronger to tell it, you have no power here. Poof, be gone. I'm about to go get this money. I'm about to go make my dreams a reality. I'm about to go and get this bag. And that's it. So I want to give you guys an activity that really helps me, right? I posted this on my threads over the weekend, but I want to elaborate on this a little bit. You know, everything I'm giving you guys in relation to recognizing that the setbacks you're dealing with are going to just set you up for major comebacks, right? Minor setbacks lead to major comebacks. You're already in position for that to happen. Something that really helps to get more clear on your goals and stay in alignment with your goals, and also force yourself to really believe in your goals, right? Because when you're in your environment, you have friends, you have family, right? You have people around you who they may not have the same goals as you, or they might think that your goals are too big. And so it can be hard to be the only person who holds on to this dream while everyone else is telling you that it isn't possible. But I want to give you something that's going to help you to stay true to it even when nobody else understands. you have got to write it down multiple times per day. You have to write your affirmations about yourself multiple times per day. So I have a 369 journal. And I'll make sure I link it, or I don't know, I'll post about it so you guys can grab it from Amazon. It's a 369 journal, and you might have heard of this, but you write down what you want for your life 3 times a day in the morning. You write it again 6 times a day in the afternoon, and you write it again 9 times at night. Okay, so 3, 6, 9. You do this every single day. And you're not writing long paragraphs, because remember, you do have to write this 3 times, 6 times, and 9 times. But you're writing down in a summary, right, what you want for your life, how you see yourself, and what you want to achieve. And you do this as a way to train your mind to believe in that statement no matter what the outside world is looking like. Because our most precious moments are in the mornings when we are just waking up. That's when we have the most ability to make an impression on our mind and determine how our day is going to go. It's in the afternoon when we've already lived most of our day and we have to determine, okay, how am I going to finish out this day? And then it's in the night right before bed. Right before bed, when you tell yourself what you will achieve, when you believe what you will achieve, when you are grateful for what you already have achieved, this sets you up for a more successful day. It's a proven fact. The more often you do these repetitions, the more often you visualize these things, the more often you script about the life that you want to have, it becomes a non-negotiable to you. And so even if friends, family, colleagues, whoever are saying it's not possible, I would never leave my job, that's too much, you know that you're steadfast on what your vision is, on what your belief is, because you haven't given your mind any other option. And I want to let you know that in this next season that you're going into, in this next season of you building, of you changing, of you developing, there's going to be a lot of people that can't go. There's going to be a lot of people that aren't on the roster anymore. And that's okay. We have no less love for them. But one of the first ways that you can know who is really in your life to see you grow is I want you to start improving. I want you to start changing. This is my challenge for you guys. And I want you to report back to me in about a week or 2 and let me know what you find. All right, let's do this. You're going to be able to know who is really good for you in your life and who is not so good for you in your life when you start improving. I want you to start improving the way you dress. I want you to start improving the way you eat. I want you to start improving the way you talk. Let's say if you curse, decide you're not going to cuss anymore. Let's say if you're listening to a lot of rap music or whatever, decide that you're going to just maybe listen to classical music or jazz. If you've been eating fast food, decide that you're going to go on a cleanse and only eat salad. If you haven't been working out, decide that you're going to work out at least 20 minutes a day and really change yourself. I want you to start improving yourself, because as soon as you make a commitment to become a better version of yourself, to become closer to the version that you imagine, the people in your life who are really for you, who are God sent, they will start improving with you. They will say, oh, well, sis, let's do it together. Those people in your life who are not God sent, who cannot go with you to the next level, who are responsible for some of your setbacks, who are happy when they see you have a setback, those people will start to have an attitude. Those people will start to act funny. Those people will start to say, you changed. Why are you acting like that? I want you to start improving. I want you to start changing. And I want you to realize that when things fall away, it makes more space for goodness to come to you. As you start to improve, as you start to change, what God needs to bring into your life will come. You've got to recognize some of the setbacks we are dealing with are as a result of what path God has us on right now. But some of the setbacks that we deal with are also as a result of the people we choose to keep around us. You might be dealing with drama that really God didn't have laid out for you, but because you're keeping such and such around, their drama is coming onto you and is stopping you from your goals. So I want you to start improving. I want you to start having different conversations. I want you to start listening to different things. I want you to start doing things different. Your elevation is going to require some separation. Everybody comment the word separation in the chat. Everybody comment the word separation in the chat, because when I got up out the corner of my mother's living room, I lost a lot of friends. I used to invite them to my new apartment. They didn't come. I used to tell them, hey, let me show you how you can build your business online. Look, I have 100,000 followers now. Let me help you. They didn't want it. And I was like, is it me? But God let me know your elevation is going to require separation. And so if you're wondering who in your life is really for you, start improving. Start keeping your word to yourself. Start being committed. Start changing how you talk to people and about people. And you're going to see a difference, right? And my test for you is, when you start to see those people act different, let them. Let them act different. Let them say what they want to say. Take note and remember what we talked about today. Don't fight to pull them back to stay by your side. Allow the separation to happen, because that means elevation is coming immediately after. YouTube, I love y'all. See you guys in the next More Money Monday.